Well, here we are, Monday, June 29th, and a little late today, back from vacation, but also trying to read up on the news if anything else is going on for July 1st, 2 days away. What I understand so far is we have a trilateral meeting. It's set up. Here's what's going to happen unless something changes in the next 2 days. So, I'm Jack Jackson. This is Manufacturers Daily. I own a manufacturing company that was 34 years old. I ran it for 17 years and got knocked off by tariffs. Sold to a U.S. firm, and I lived the tariffs. I understand the tariffs. I'm here to help anybody else go through this, if you're a manufacturer especially. So, what's supposed to happen? Well, the legality around July 1st, I've explained in quite a few of my videos already. It's not a cliff. It doesn't end. It's just an announcement to say, yes, we're going to go forward and keep it the same, which I highly doubt, or we're going to do yearly reviews, which I highly expect, and or we're done. We're not going to do any more, which I know can't happen. So let's go on the premise that we're going to have yearly reviews, and all three countries have confirmed in writing that they want to extend CUSMA, USMCA, TMEC, but what's going to happen on July 1st, Wednesday? Evidently, there's supposed to be a trilateral video meeting of some sort between all three countries and all the three trade representatives. So we're going to find out. Let's see, Canada's walking in with a formal renewal request. They sent on June 2nd. Trade Minister LeBlanc has described his talks as unfrozen and says Canada has resolved issues with the U.S. in the double digits. LeBlanc called himself eternally optimistic. Canada wants a 16-year extension and relief from sectoral tariffs on steel, aluminum, and autos. Okay. Mexico's walking in on the U.S. preferred negotiating partner because they've already had 2 rounds of bilateral meetings in May and in June, and the next one's scheduled in July 20th in Mexico City. So Mexico's already placed tariffs on 1,400 Chinese products to align with the U.S. Mexico and Canada have formed what the president of Mexico says is a common front to go into the meeting. The U.S. is walking in with a position that hasn't shifted at all. Trump has said that he is not looking to renew at all. And Greer, who's a trade representative for the U.S., said a rubber stamp is not in the national interest. The U.S. wants 50% American content in vehicles, expanded dairy access, forced labor upgrades, and resolution to the Chinese supply chain exposure in North America. What the U.S. has not done as of this recording is issue a formal statement confirming participation in tomorrow's trilateral, but I can't find anywhere it says they're not. It's a little confusing, but sometimes the internet doesn't carry everything, or they're just not saying anything, and even though they've been invited, they haven't confirmed, or did they confirm, but they didn't want to say it in public. We're going to be finding out next couple days. So let's see. As I said, the first is annual. What I believe will happen is the annual rolling reviews. The most likely outcome, I believe, is there's no 16-year extension confirmed. CUSMA and USMCA and TMEC do stay in force, but there will be negotiations continuing through 2026 into 2027. Annual reviews will become the norm, which makes it so difficult to try to plan if you're a manufacturer. Or for anybody, how do you plan when you don't know what the rules are going to be every year because they could change? I mean, they don't even have to wait a year to change it. They just can start changing. So, what should you do now? Well, your reality check, what happens regardless tomorrow, is you need to make sure your CUSMA certificates are current. If they are not, fix it this week. Like, get on next month. Annual reviews mean annual exposure if that certificate isn't defensible. So we know how to defend it. You don't want to be stuck without knowing all the different details that you have to have, because we believe the borders are going to become more strict. The rules have always been there. I think they're just going to be more strict and start looking for red flags. And the first flag is if you don't have your certificate of origin filed. That's number one red flag. If you didn't do a certificate of origin, then how can your information be correct? That's the easy one I think they'll pick at. So I'll be watching not tomorrow, 2 days from now, meeting closely. We'll be watching the news for the next day and two to see if anything's developed that's going to make it different. And I'll get you up to date as much as I can because we're only 2 days away from somebody has to make some sort of announcement. No more just pushing around the peanuts. So I'm Jack Jackson. This is Manufacturer Daily. Free 30-minute talk. If you want to give me a call, send me an email. Please forward, and do whatever you can with this video to send to somebody else because D-Day is coming. It's not like we're going to fall off the cliff on D-Day. It's just a matter of things are going to change, and you don't want to be caught in the change. All right, we'll be up again tomorrow and get you caught up in the news. Thanks again for watching.